You. Hey there. I should blow the dust off the screen because it's been a dusty sort of day. How's my face? Plenty of iron ore happening. They say vegans, Andrew, low on iron. Not today. Not today. Holy shit. I never swear on my channel. Come on, Greg. Lift your game. So here we are, just making a short vid. I won't go on too much of a rampage. What is it? No, a tangent. There's a difference. So here we are with Moose. Moose has been here how long, Andrew? Tell me. Too long. Exactly. If I've shown you all my sign, we've got to put it up, Andrew. It's just so brilliant. Vangelis Restoration. Yeah, look at that. So good. Thanks to Brendan. You know who you are, Brendan. Choice bro. So is that racist? Australians are allowed to be racist against Kiwis. We are. They're racist against us. I'm not going down the lanolin path. So let's talk about Moose, the job at hand. The job at hand, it's been the job that's been, plays with your mind, a job like this. Because there's just so many challenges. And if you're going to watch this video tonight and you go, Moose, what? Where did that come from? It's been here for a long time. Not as long as Kiek, but trust me, Kiek's getting finished real soon. Well, the car's sort of finished. I've just got to do a few bits and pieces. So Moose is, Moose. It was a bit of a mystery. It was a bit of a mystery thing where it was bought at auction, and just to remind people, let's revisit. Let's revisit. Look out! Goodbye, Andrew. Good night. Thank you for working. Thank you for working so hard today. Go off into the darkness, son. Into the darkness, right? So yeah, that's let's look how good that looks. So we've done so much work. Metal, basically. That's why I've kept this door, because this sort of paper mache, as it's been called by many people. Let's just get it in the right shadow. Oh, there we're talking about the whole car. Poor old Moose, when we got it back from the blaster, and we'd been chipping away well before the blaster, and my neighbour came down for a bit of therapy, and he was there, and he'd have a chisel and a hammer, and he was knocking off lumps of bog like that thick. So my estimation is, I'd say there would have been like 10 cans of bog. I hope it's cheap in Brazil. I hope it's like $10 a can or something, because there was at least 10 cans in, and you know the story. It's just like stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do you put the car in landfill? Which I don't believe is the right thing to do. I think it's trying to get real, get structure into it. It needed some structure. I'm going to do another video later when we've got it all primed up. We're going to take it down to the big shed and get it on the hoist, and make sure all underneath is strong and legit, because we've added a lot of structure to there. But when it's on the hoist, we can add even more welding if we have to. So the front nose is on. Well, it's been on for ages, but we've just finally sort of you get sick of looking at projects, and you go, well, what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to put it off because you get other stuff in that's quicker and let's just say it, more profitable? You do a job like this because it's a challenge, not because you actually want to eat at the end of the week. So we've done our best to keep the budget as low as possible, but still, I wasn't going to be refilling this bad boy. I was like, nah, let's reskin it instead. So she's a bit Frankenstein, yes, bit Mad Max, absolutely, but the whole car is anyway. And we've added strength. You could now chuck a pallet of compost on the bloody back, and it's not going to fall through like it would have before. And yeah, so as far as metal work, we've got one thing left to do, and that's the roof here. All right, we've got to take the pregnancy, as I call it, out of that roof, that mound, because it used to be a van. You know, the roof would taper up, and the highest part of a roof is in the middle of the roof, and that's all been taken away. And we've, like, look at where the fuel is. We're going to sort that as well, trust me. So yeah, we've added, that's a store bought, the back wheel arch, the front nose is store bought. Everything else we just got the metal in and welded in. So yeah, if you want to call it a chop shop job, that's fine by me. I've been called out before. Someone said, "Oh, that's not restoration, that's chop shop." I said, they don't know the story. They've got no idea about bloody budgets. Everything comes down to that. If you've got, we only do hourly rate until it's finished, well, that's cool if you can do that. But most people go, look, this is what I've got to spend. Can you do something with it? And we're people, so we like to, yeah. Is that why we've got no money? Yeah, possibly. And like the hatch wasn't asked for by the people, but like when I always look at it like, if this was mine, what would I do? And there was such a big wasted space there. Like, we've put the bloody hatch in, and it's going to be super cool. Big access there, and it's going to be a step to get up on the back if you need to. So I'm getting ahead of myself there. Yeah, that's from a Porsche. Don't worry about that. So it's been a wild ride, and I'm so happy now. I've pulled Andrew off other jobs that have come more recently to get this done, and now that the metal work is just about done, bar the roof, I'm real happy, because it's like, okay, not only will this car be safe, but most of the rust will be sorted. So yes, of course, there will still be bog in it. I've worked on some really high-end cars, as in been to shops that charge a fortune, and they've still got bog in it. This will have a little bit more, but bugger me, it's like, compared to paper mache, this thing's going to be pretty solid, and it won't need a lot of filler to make it look okay. Yeah, so what are we doing now? So this has been like bare metal panels. Andrew's been stitching it in. He put those ones in the corner there before we even had all the metal shaping gear. Like before we had the English wheel, it would have been bloody handy to do all those curves, but we've just done it the old school way, a little bit bad Chad way, and just bloody make some cuts in it, bash her around. That's cool, a few mil of filler and she'll be looking sweet. So yeah, real challenge. By the way, this door, the really bad door, is we have a new skin for that, because it was just like the rest of it, too far gone. But mind you, the other door, that one there, look at that, like a bloody brand new. Not really, I've still got to lock that and a bit of refilling here and there, but I mean, overall, that door, like, that's a passenger door off Moose, so like that's looking really good. Have a quick scan of what do we got? Reenie's bumpers up there. They're all undercoated. We've got these. This was all fiberglass, was an absolute mess in there, and I've re-fiberglassed all the inside and strengthened it all up and bogged her up and sanded that and got a bit of primer on it. And once you get the primer on, then you see the true shape, and then you see if you've got to feddle with it a little bit. They're the doors off Dougie as well. Anyway, wrong project. Let's move on. I've got to get Tallulah in here tomorrow and get back onto that, or I'll be in strife. But the point is, we've got this here, Some of this bare metal has been on for a long time, and yeah, sure, it's been outside, you know, copped a bit of surface rust, but tonight we've ground down the meters and meters of welds. Holy smokes. So we use a bit of a, again, we're definitely not racist people at all. No, seriously, we're not. But we call them a Nihal disc. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't care, because basically it's one of the old school grinding discs. Because when you buy a grinder, you know that everything's made in China, and you get these discs as part of the grinder, and generally we don't use them a lot, but on this, because we had lineal meters of weld to knock down, you can't beat for skimming across the top of the weld, knock that down before you go to a flap wheel, blah blah blah. Anyway, we've skimmed across that, and I've sanded that a couple of times and got most of the surface rust off, but now we're going to I'm going to brush a coat of this stuff on tonight. This is excellent stuff, rust buster, right? So I'm going to brush that on, and you'll see then tomorrow all this black stuff will appear, and it'll sort of crystallize in areas, and so then I'll be re-sanding it after the rust buster, and then I'll be using dioxidine. So it's like, in dioxidine, you got to put it on, give it a scrub, and wipe it off while it's still wet before it dries. Whereas this stuff, I'm going to let it dry first. So hopefully this will do most of the work. And then dioxidine after that to re-stimulate anything that's... sometimes you just don't need to know the words. You just got to know the process. And then, guess what Grego's going to do? I'm going to put a coat of epoxy on that. And I'm going to use a roller. Oh my God, you're using a roller on a car? And it's like, on this car, yes, absolutely. It's because the epoxy gets sanded and filled over. And yeah, there's going to be a couple of mils of filler, so the stipple of a roller, I'm not using a bloody shag pile, you know, it's a fine roller. But it's actually, a roller is better than spraying for getting in any of the gaps in around the welds and stuff like that. So feel free to comment about how shit that is, but trust me, it's the best thing for this car. It needs all the help it can get, and we don't. Well, look, let's be honest. If you completely went bonkers on this car, well, you just wouldn't, because you would just get a German made one and not worry about it. So I'm just going to get this to a standard where it's safe and it can be roadworthied, and then just enjoyed and driven, like really driven. I'm not talking about to a cars and coffee. I'm talking about drive it anywhere, park it anywhere, not worry about it. It's never going to be worth what a German one is. So just get out there and enjoy it. So to the average Joe that doesn't know V-dubs, they go, oh cool, dual cab Kombi, I've seen them around, yeah. But the purists will be like, oh, what have they done? But who cares? Another one saved, that's how I see it. So, and at least, at least we're making it safe, and that's the main thing. So, and when it's painted, I reckon it's going to look pretty cool. The transformation is real. So, anyway, we're a bit off that, but it's been a big moment to get this metal work done. That's all I can taste is iron ore. And when I jump in the shower, you know, Linda, sometimes she goes, oh, God, it smells like blood. And I'm like, have a think about it. There's iron in blood. And yeah, and when you've been grinding metal, that's what you smell like. So there you go. The vampires would be, luckily, we're a long way from Washington State, where all the vampires are, and so we're safe here. So like, let's roll with this and get it done. I'm gonna chuck this video up unedited, as I've been doing lately, because time is against me. So that's the worst part about having a U-tin. You just go, oh yeah, I'll just chuck it up there, use it as a table. So we got, yeah, anyway, it gets cleared off. Oh, by the way, Like, this is so wonky and ordinary. We're going to seal everything up so there's no things, get some epoxy on there, and then we'll probably cover it with, yes, aluminium checker plate sheet, and it'll all look nice and neat. So that's what's we're going to do, and we're going to make a little hatch to fill up fuel instead of this arrangement. So, okay, that's all for now. I'm going to brush this rust buster on now, making sure I get it all in between the welds and everything. Yeah, and it's been a big couple of weeks to get this sorted, but I'm feeling good about it. So anyway, on to other projects, and we'll talk to you later. Oh, I'm still rolling. Rolling.